welcome everyone back to the SimZone. We are here for the GT3 PC Championship on ACC, and we're at Zolder this time around. We were at Zolder on the console platform on Sunday, but we're here again on PC. Wet this time again, and we've got a very early morning qualifying session, and we've got someone off there on the exit of the first chicane. Currently Tamas on provisional pole with a 138.752, and he seems to be up for an improvement. He is about a second coming up towards the final chicane, and I think he's a bit deep there into that final chicane. Millard was on the racing line, so I don't think he was really paying attention to who was behind him. Tamas crosses the line with an improvement, but definitely could have improved a lot more, and that's Ivanov putting it on provisional pole, 138.1. We know how good the Aston is in the wet, and Ivanov, even in the drive, very, very quick here. But Bodenberger in third currently on a 138.9. We saw in the practice session beforehand that Hladky, who hasn't currently set a lap time, he did have the fastest lap in the practice session with Chris Pizek, just 8 thousandths off, and I don't think these two have set a lap time at the moment. Nope, so they're still looking to put in some times. We've got Cameron about to cross the line here. What's going to be P7 there for Cameron. The number 40 car of Paul Cook is going to put it into P11, a 140.9 there. So over 2 seconds off Ivanov on pole position. Here we know how tricky Zolder is in the wet. And these curves are going to be absolutely lethal. The rain does seem to be settling, but it'll be after this qualifying session, so it won't benefit the drivers just yet. And we are expected to have light to medium rain for the whole of the weekend here, so the race won't be drying up. Let's have a quick look at the standings here coming into this round. So leading the championship, Hladky on 311 points, followed by Tamas on 274, Ivanov on 271, Alessandro there on 264, Luciano on 255, Bodenberger also on 255, Cosford on 234, Jose on 225, Viken on 198, P9, and rounding off the top 10, Brownhill on 168 at the top. Very, very close. And remember, these drivers are fighting for real trophies that they'll receive at their doorstep at the end of the season. Obviously, Hladky looking good, leading the championship with just 2 rounds left after this one. But the battle for second is very, very close. Tamas and Ivanov just separated by 3 points. And Tamas currently back on provisional pole, whereas Ivanov didn't seem to improve that time around. And the only driver to get into the 137s is Tamas. Looks like Bodenberger is up on his lap as he approaches the final chicane here. This will put him into the 37s, the high 37s. Actually, no, sorry, this is not the final chicane. He just started a lap, and he's already a second up here. So definitely more time to find on this lap. And we've got a Ferrari off there. I think that is... Oh god, I'm not sure who that Ferrari is. Was that Christian Oesch? No, I think it was Pascal Sterner who lost his car there in that second chicane. Bonberger, oh, he's invalidated his lap and he's 2 seconds up. He definitely has it in him, but track limits here at Zolder. Very harsh, especially in the wet. So easy to go a bit deep into one of the chicanes and run a bit wide in these conditions, but Ivanov 7/10 up. This could put him on pole. It goes into second with a 1:38.1. Ivanov coming through the final chicane now. He's found even more time. Bit of a slide on the exit, but I don't think that's going to matter. He's going to cross the line here and retake pole position. Ivanov on a 1:37.1, so almost into the 1:36s here in the wet. That's a very good time there from Ivanov. It is 8/10 up. From Palace eSports, obviously. His teammate Quadsford unable to make the race today. I'm sure he would have been cheering his teammate on beforehand. It's going to round off the final corner. This could put him on pole position here, provisional pole, and it looks like, oh, it may do, and he crosses the line. Where is it? So close there, 1:37.192, so just less than a hundredth separating these two drivers. I think he's going to return the car to the pits. He's happy with that lap time there. And Alessandro in the Honda also up on his time. This will put him into the 37s. Currently 9/10 up. Let's go on board with him for the remainder of this lap. See how much curb you're able to take through those chicanes. Lift on the throttle there. Down towards the hairpin. Like you just hit 100 board. Getting it turned in nice and early. Didn't use the curb on the exit. Probably quite slippery, but Alessandro will know what he's doing. Now into the final chicane, using all that curb on the inside. He's going to miss the little sausage curbs on the right hand side, but he's going to go straight towards the finish line here. And what's it going to be for Alessandro? There we go, 1:37.2. And Bonenberger goes on to provisional pole, 1:36.6, and he's lost the car there. He's going to continue, but that's an invalid lap this time around. So he's beating Ivanov there by 2/10. And it looks like Alessandro is going to return the car to the pits. Reza Mullard, he is P8, 2/10 up currently. Now down towards the final chicane here. Is he going to jump up a position? It's going to be close. He might be able to get P8, and he does. There we go. So Viken goes into went into P9, but just got bumped down straight after by Mullard, who goes into P8. Barton in Lamborghini, mentioning earlier that his car's got absolutely no grip in these conditions. And I wouldn't be surprised, look how greasy the track looks. There we go, Team Palace eSports showing their support for Luciano, who's currently in P3. That's a very good start, and he might even be able to grab a P2 here. He is a 10th up currently. Can he find any more time? He's pretty much on the start of his lap, so there's definitely time to be found here. Keep an eye on Luciano. Corsell down at P15. You'd expect the Bentley to be higher up on Zolder, but currently 3/10 up, so he's looking to gain some positions towards the end of this qualifying session. And remember, there's just under a minute left. So this might be Corsa's last lap. We might even be able to get in another, we'll see. I think he should be able to. Unless he obviously returns the car up to the pit lane, 7/10 up as he approaches this final chicane. Not opting to use that inside curb, but bounces over the second one, and he's lost some time as a result. He's still 6/10 up though. Let's see where this puts him. And he crosses line P9, a huge jump in positions there. And that looks to be a top 10 position in this qualifying session for Corsa, but he's still on a lap here. And looks like Bollenberger has finished his qualifying session. Ivanov isn't up on his time. Tamas though is 3/10 up. Could he get P2? Oh, he's lost about a tenth there. They're coming down towards the hairpin. He's still 2/10 up though. He needs another tenth to find. He's lost another tenth there on the exit of the hairpin, so I don't think he's going to be able to improve this time around. And oh, I spoke too soon, maybe. He's 2/10 up. No, he's lost it on the exit, but that's pretty much your qualifying session. Then Bollenberger on pole position, Ivanov in second, and Tamas in third. We'll be back very, very shortly for the start of this 1 hour race here at Zolder. As you line up on the grid here for the start of the formation lap, you can see how wet the track is here at Zolder. And if it wasn't visible in the dark, it's definitely visible now. And we're going to have a quick grid walk here with the drivers. You can just see there's a bit of standing water on the start-finish straight as well. And the rain is going to get heavier, so drivers are going to have to be careful as the rain does get heavier, because the conditions of the grip on the track will be unknown. And good to see Freeman in the comments as well. I haven't seen Freeman for a long time, but showing support for Chris Pizzuk there, who we currently see in the Porsche on the left hand side. But there's definitely some beautiful liveries on this grid. And let us know your predictions for the top three in this race. It's definitely a tough grid here, lots of talent. But we're about to get going here for the formation lap. And again, saying in the comments, P13, he takes that any day. It's a good qualifying position there for Jan, qualifying just behind Sidor, who's also in the Porsche. We're getting going on this formation lap now. Bonenberg, as we saw in qualifying, on pole position, beating Ivanov, which you don't see often, especially in the wet, with the Aston being very good in these conditions. But Tamas in third, Wittwit in fourth, and Alessandro there in fifth in the Honda. It's got a couple of Hondas on the grid, which is always good to see. They have become much quicker after the most recent update, and it's really brought them up towards the top with the other cars. Just here there, Bonenberger riding the brake, trying to get some heat into his tyres. Track temp 21 degrees, ambient temp 17 degrees. It's not too bad, but not extremely warm either. Now the drivers do have a mandatory pit stop to serve as well, with the pit window opening 20 minutes into the race. And the pit window will also be open for 20 minutes. And in that pit stop, they will have to refuel. Refueling time is fixed, so that means no matter how much fuel the drivers put in, their stop will be 25 seconds regardless. Then they have the option to change tyres or not. So changing tyres would add an extra 5 seconds to their pit stop, making it 30 seconds in total. That'll be interesting because on a track like Zolder, it's quite hard to overtake. We could see some undercuts with drivers not changing tyres and opting for that track position. We'll see, we should see the drivers lining up 2 by 2 very shortly. We are approaching the end of the formation lap. Paul saying PC is definitely starting to blur the lines between sim and reality. Oh yeah, definitely. And show this to any regular person who isn't into racing, they'll think this is real life. But here we go, drivers lining up side by side now. And who will get the jump into turn 1? Bonenberger's going to have the inside, Ivanov's going to be on the outside. But I think there's going to be some standing water on the inside there for Bonenberger. He is offline. And we did pretty much see the standing water in the qualifying session, but we should be green any second now. And here we go, a green. Bonenberger off to a good start using the superior acceleration of the Porsche, but Ivanov sending it down the inside into turn 1. He's got that position done with ease pretty much. I don't think Bonenberger expected that, and one of the Hondas off the track there has rejoined, and Bonenberger's losing another position to Tamas. Looks like Tamas is going to take the inside, and can Wittwit following through. Bonenberger being swamped on the start of this race, and yes, he's going to lose that position, I think, to Wittwit, who's going to need to cover off Bonenberger here. Looks like that's Alessandro side by side with Hladky. Bit of door rubbing between the two. Hladky's going to try and keep it around the outside, jumps over the chicane there, and he's lost that position. The championship leader, Hladky, down into P6 already. Started in P6, so tried to go for a move on Alessandro, but it didn't seem to work. And he's got Chris Bizek breathing down his neck now. He's going to have to be careful because these two were very, very close to the practice session, and they've met on track as well. But looks like we've had Cameron, Hooschii, it seemed like, and Sterner all in the gravel. They don't seem to have any damage on their cars from what I can see, so maybe some synchronized spinning between the three of them. Yeah, I don't see any damage whatsoever on those cars. So yeah, they all decided to build some sandcastles, I think, but even though leading this race has already pulled a gap there to Tamas, a 1.8 second gap, and Wittvoet up into P3, Bodenberger all the way down here to P4. He seems to be struggling here. Maybe he's got his pressures wrong, we don't know. It would be nice to see somehow, but yeah, he hasn't had the start to the race that he wanted at all, and he is being pressured by Alessandro now. He's very, very close to him. Just definitely not sure what's happening here. Physic looking for a move. Tried a bit of a dummy there, I think, but didn't work, and he jumps over the chicane. That's going to be quite a risky thing to do this early on in the race. We saw Ladke do it, and I think Bodenberger may have done so as well. But in these conditions, you never know. The rear end could just snap on you, and it could be game over, especially with the walls being so close here at Zolder. There's not a huge amount of runoff on some of these corners. You can see here in this third sector, there's just a bit of grass, and then you're straight into the wall if you make a mistake. Further back, Sidor lost a few positions off the. Oh no, he's gained a few positions even. Started in P12, so up into P9 now. But Pizza coming to P7. He started in P8. Beacon there in the background, I think, went to go defensive against Osh. But Osh not close enough to go for that move into turn 1. He's got Van Putten behind him. Oh, who's that wide? I think that's Josh Barrett, who went wide there into turn 1. Lost the position to Ben Mullard, and now Carl Van Hoorn seems to be looking to get this move done. He's got much better exit speed. Jan Barth close behind, side by side with Hisley. Two Porsches battling for position, and looks like Hisley has got that position done, got that move done. Up into P70 he goes. I'll see if we can bring up this battle between Osh, who is up in P12 at the moment. He's got quite a handful with Van Putten very, very close behind him. See there on board, well not on board, watching Osh on the other screen here. He's got Van Putten in the Honda so close behind. He's definitely going to need to be careful. Carl Van Hoorn now defending against Hisley. Hisley looking good here this race. Let's see what his lap time is compared to Carl Van Hoorn this time around. So across the line, 5/10 quicker than Van Hoorn that last lap, so he's definitely got the pace to overtake. The question is, can he get it done? We see there Josh Barrett going wide into turn 1. He's now lost some time. He's just ahead of this pack. And Osh trying to really defend against Van Putten here. Still watching Hisley. Can he get past Van Hoorn? I think Van Hoorn's going to have to go defensive. He's got in the middle of the track, moves it back over to the racing line. I don't know, Hisley's not going to go for that move just yet. And a bit squirrely on the exit there of the chicane. That's what I was talking about. It definitely can end in tears if someone takes just a bit too much. But this pack seems to be forming now. Van Hoorn leading this train. Barrett's not too far up in front, but he's not really in the straight. We've got Hooschii behind, then Barth, and then we've got Paul Cook rounding off this train here in P19. And I think that is Krauts and Curtin in the background as well. Van Hoorn going defensive once again. Hooschii isn't able to get that move done. And you can see there Ocean, the Ferrari, holding on to that position. I believe that is P11. And Van Putten P12, so close there into turn 1. He just can't get past though. Not yet at least. And a mistake there for Van Hoorn. He's sideways on the exit of turn 1, and Hooschii takes that opportunity and goes up into P16, sorry. Now Van Hoorn falling into the clutches of Barth, who's looking to go for a move. He's going to be on the outside, coming towards the chicane. Oh, a mistake from the Honda there. What's happened to Van Putten? What has happened to Van Putten? He's still there, but made a bit of a mistake into the chicane. And he's now got Mullard and Sidor very, very close behind him. But back to this battle we go. Just like Sidor down the inside of Mullard. I think he's got that move done. They're still side by side here, and yeah, Sidor's got that move done. And you can see in the background that is Krauts holding that position off of Curtin. Then the Aston, he's gone deep into the final chicane. Can Curtin capitalise on that? I don't think he had space to go around the outside, and he tried it, but it did seem to work. And now Krauts going defensive into turn 1. No, Curtin's not close enough. Or he is close enough, but he's not going to go for that move. Can he get the inside for turn 2 though? All very swirly on the exit there from Krauts. And this has brought in Versteeg into the battle as well. Oh, dangerously riding on the exit curve there of turn 2, and Curtin may have paid the price. Can Versteeg get this move done? He's going to have a look down the inside. And I thought Curtin left some room there. But he's definitely not going to give that position up easily. Now it looks like Sterner and Barth. Oh, a huge mistake there from Krauts, and paid the price of taking a bit too much curb in the chicane. I believe that's what's happened. He's got the car going once again. But a shame there for Krauts. Now we're looking at Barton, who was quite close to Sterner. They're about a second, separated by about a second, but Barton's got some damage in the front end of that Lamborghini. May have had an off somewhere. I know he's got, I believe that's Cameron right behind him. But we'll go back to the race leader, Ivanov, who's got, the gap's come down between these two, so Tamas is closed in on Ivanov. That last lap, a 1:36.1 from Tamas and a 1:36.2 from Ivanov here. Now go on board with Tamas. Lepro saying great racing in these conditions. Kenny saying hi Matt. Oh, hi mate. Alright. And was that a mistake? Oh, I thought there was a mistake there. Just busy reading the comments. But I thought Tamas lost the car. Alessandro with the fastest lap of the race on a 1:35.9. But that's Ivanov taking a bit too much curb on the exit of that final chicane. Tamas has got a good one coming to turn one, even though he's going very defensive here. Can Tamas go for the switchback? They're going to be side by side now. I don't think he's going to have to be early on the brakes. I don't think he can hold it around the outside. Bit of contact between the two. Tamas trying the outside, but it hasn't paid off for him. He's going to have to slam on the brakes there to avoid making contact. Look how close they are with these two battling. Vitvut in the background for Barth eSports is closing in, and it's going to be a three-way fight so early on for the race lead here. You can see Boddenberger now defending from Hladky. And we'll quickly get the battle for... Oh, very swirling on the exit as well, once again for Boddenberger. And it's caught someone out already. It caught Quartz out earlier on in this race, not too long ago. They're going to have to be careful. And that looks like Ivanov having to defend against... oh, contact them in the top three! What's happened there? There's been a disaster between the top three. Looks like Ivanov made contact with Tamas, and he's going to let him through. Very sportsmanlike there, but Luciano Vitvut is going to take the race lead, and he's got a good, sizable margin there. And all contact between Boddenberger and Hladky. Boddenberger is going to lose that position. He may even lose another position here to Alessandro, who's going to have the inside coming into turn one. Pizik looking for a move, looking left and right, but he's going to stick to the racing line. And Alessandro's got that move done, or has he run a bit too wide? No, he's kept it just on track there. And Boddenberger trying it around the outside. He can't leave the door open there for Pizik, because Pizik's definitely going to take it. If you give him the opportunity, he's not going to step down from it. But rear end with his ball shoes looking a bit out of shape at the moment. Very quick in qualifying, but in the race where the track is a bit wetter, they seem to be struggling. Pizik driving offline there, maybe trying to cool the tyres. I'm not sure if he's overpressured. Look at that, Boddenberger getting some airtime there. But back to Ivanov and Tamas. Look at this, Vitvut with a 4.4 second lead. I'm sure Barth eSports are going to be happy with that. The question is, can he maintain it? He's going to want Tamas and Ivanov to continue battling. That's just going to help Vitvut even more, and Ivanov very late on the brakes there. Maybe struggling in this race slightly. Look at the train we've got behind us. Hladky in P4, followed by Alessandro in P5. Boddenberger in P6, Pizik in P7. He does seem to be cooling the tyres, unless he's just trying to show himself in the rearview mirrors of Boddenberger, letting him know I'm here, I'm looking to get past. But Corsa in P8, and that seems to be Brownhill, not too far off of this train. He is. No, he's not lapping as quick as Corsa at the moment. But yeah, seems to be struggling in these conditions compared to the top 8. But he's still doing a great job here. Viken in P10 is about a 10th slower that last lap to Brownhill. Now Van Horne has got Cook very close to him. And now we saw these two battle at Misano. There was a bit of contact between these two. They're very even on pace. And Van Putten's lost the car. No, what's happened to Van Putten? I think he may have caught the... let's just get a helicamming. I think he may have caught the grass or the gravel there. And once you're on that grass, it's pretty much game over. But yeah, it seems like he lost it on the exit of turn 2. But back to this battle. Bonenberger's lost a position to Alessandro, so Alessandro up into P5. Bonenberger in P6. I think he tried to go for a move on Alessandro actually. Didn't pay off for him. Now Pizzak really looking to... Oh! A mistake! Oh! A very late dive there from Bonenberger. And Alessandro's not going to be happy with that one. I don't think he was expecting that. But somehow Bonenberger got that done, and Pizzak and Alessandro running wide there. Oh! It's been contact! Pizzak rejoining the track there, making contact with Corsa, who's got it going once again, but these conditions really tricky. And I'm not sure if there's much Pizzak could have done there, unfortunately, but he's got the car going once again. But he's lost a number of positions, down into P11 now, and that's Hooschii behind him. I don't think Hooshii's close enough though to get this move done. Mullard in P13. Not the best of races. He does, I think last time he said he does struggle in the wet with the Audi. But back to the race leader, with a 5-second lead now, so extended that gap to Tamas and Ivanov. Dontas saying Van Putten was being a bit too confident with the curbs. Yeah, that's also a thing you have to watch out in the wet for. And Ithan there saying hi, good to see you, Ithan. Ivanov breaking away from... I was losing some time to Tamas. Habke 1.8 seconds behind Ivanov, and Ivanov 1.8 seconds behind Tamas. And these three, we've seen them on track battling with each other. They've pretty much always been at the top, barring one or two races due to incidents, but yeah, they're so evenly matched on pace. You can see Bonenberger there in the background. That last lap wasn't quicker, but he's definitely catching up. And we'll keep an eye on Bonenberger. But looking further down the field, Mullard and Sidor, that's P13 and P12. Not too far from each other. You can see there Hooschii, who is up into P11. This might be his best finish so far. Obviously we're still very early on into the race. There's still another 40 minutes left to go. But if you can hold on to P11, it's going to be his best finish so far of the season. Zolder here catching up to Hooschii massively through the chicane. We've got, who is that off? That seems to be Josh Barrett, I think. Are they going 3 wide? Oh, this is going to end in tears, and luckily it didn't. That was very brave of them to go 3 wide there into the hairpin. And I think Barrett isn't a lap down, so he's lost some positions to these two. He's now behind Mullard and Sidor, doing everything he can to get past and go back on board. And look at the spray coming from the Ferrari in front. Very difficult to see at the moment. But he's going to have a look towards the inside. He is. And Hooshii's going to leave him though. He's going to shut the door and forces Sidor to go onto the grass there. Good defending from Hooschii. Sidor hasn't been able to get that move done. But he doesn't have to worry about Mullard just yet. Comfortable gap for now. Just running slightly wide there onto the gravel. You can see it's hindered his exit coming down towards the chicane. But oh, Sidor's lost the car, and that's what I mentioned earlier. It's definitely going to end horribly for someone, and Sidor's luckily kept it out of the wall, but he's lost the position there to Mullard. And it looks like Barrett now facing some pressure from Hisley behind. And we've also got Jan Barth, and I think that's Harry Clayton, who might be a lap down. But Carl Van Horn, yep, he's just going to get past him now. And that's Cook behind as well, still keeping up with Van Hoorn. We'll go back to Wittwood, who still got a 4.7 second lead to Tamas. And that last lap, Wittwood about 2 to 3 tenths quicker than Tamas. And Ivanov, taking a very risky line there. Maybe pushing the car a bit too much, and Ladke's really caught up. That last lap 7 tenths quicker, so Ivanov making a mistake that last lap, possibly. And we've now got the pit window open here, so we should see some drivers into the pits. Sterner has served his mandatory stop. Quartz likewise. Sidor and Alessandro into the pits as well for their mandatory stops. Alessandro is still with the fastest lap of the race, and I don't think they will be improving on their lap times as the track continues to get wetter and wetter. Domtas saying that turn 4-5 chicane is 50-50 under these conditions. Yes, pretty much. It's just so risky to be taking that much curb on those chicanes. But it looks like Hisley and Barrett P12 and P11 still battling out here for position. And I believe that's young Barth in the background. You can barely see him due to the spray. He is definitely catching up with these two battling. Seems like a very good exit there from Barrett, but maybe the TC limiting him on the exit. Seems to be an earlier apex for Barrett there into turn 1. You can just hear the cars aquaplaning ever so slightly. Or at least driving through the standing water. And Barth is almost within a second now to Barrett, so he is definitely catching up. This will be a 3-car battle for P12. Now Jan in a good position at the moment to go for an undercut with these two battling, but he seems to have lost some time there on the exit of the chicane. What's happened to Jan Barth? He's still on the track, but yeah, definitely made a mistake through that first chicane. Cook now into the pits as well. Vanden's going to keep it out on track. Go back trackside for this battle. Barrett still sticking with Hisley. Barth is a bit of time now. I think it's Carl Van Hoorn behind, who isn't too far back. What's that? 3.7 seconds. We go back to the race leader. What is the gap? Down to 4.2. But Victory not really losing much time. He's pretty much managing that gap to Tamas in P2. And Ivanov just isn't able to catch up to Tamas here. And Ladke has lost some time to Ivanov though. Lapping in the 137s at the moment. Whereas Ivanov was in the 136s, and is that... No, that's Sidor, who has served his mandatory pit stop. Rottenberger next position down in P5, lapping in the 138. So, started on pole position, did Rottenberger. He just doesn't seem to have the pace here in the race at the moment. We saw him get swamped at the start. Rottenberger, I'm sure, is going to be looking to gain as many points as he can this round. Barth now within a second to Barrett, who's really closed in on him on the exit of that chicane. Pirth saying, "Come on, Ivanov, Barth going to dive into the pits here? Or does he want the position on track? Looks like Barrett's gone into the pits, and all very late on the brakes there for Barth. I think he contemplated to go into the pits. May have wanted to follow Barrett, but looks like he's going to keep it out on track. He's definitely lost some time by doing so. Van Hoorn's closed the gap to 2.6 seconds now. Corsa and Viken, P7 and P8 are quite close. You see here these two almost within a second of each other. That last lap, Corsa 6/10 quicker than Crown, just spitting flames on downshift. But it's not going to help him in the battle here. And the Bentley, all bit of contact between the two. Bit of a poor exit there for Viken. But Corsa's not going to be able to get this move done. Flashing lights there for Corsa. I think he may be having some connection issues. Unless that's Viken, we're not too sure. Lonza saying the Porsche is very sensitive to conditions of fuel load. Yes, definitely. The extra fuel is probably not helping, and the fact that the track's even wetter and there's a lot of standing water on the track as well. And oh, what's happened here with Corsa? He's definitely got some connection issues. Does the Bentley driver. And Viken is going to be a bit worried with that. For some reason it's showing Corsa is in the lead. But that's definitely not the case. There we go, back down to P8, and he's sliding the rear end all over the place here. Bring the battle up between these two. In a second we will switch to Ivanov, who's losing even more time to Tamas. Hladkis has been closing in a bit more, but not enough to catch Ivanov as we speak. Looking further down the grid, Mollard is closing the gap to Osh in P10 that last lap. Actually, no, he's not. That last lap he was slower than Osh. You can see there, that is Corsa diving into the pits. He'll be serving his mandatory pit stop then. But Osh has got Kirk service stop already behind him, so they won't be battling for position. Yeah, Millard just doesn't seem to have the pace here at Zolder in the wet, at least, and the Audi's definitely not an easy car in the wet, although Mollard pretty much matching lap times with Osh that last time around. And of course they'll stay in the pits here, so we'll see where it comes out in comparison to the others he was battling with. Looks like Hisley and Sidor are quite close here. The two Porsches, P15 and P16. Corsa has come out behind, I think, Alessandro. It's one of the Hondas. If it's not Alessandro, it is Van Putten, I believe. It doesn't look like Van Putten is in that fight. Van Putten down in P22, Corsa in P14, so Van Putten's going to have to move out the way here for blue flags at some point. can see there Bonenberger coming to put a lap on these two. Obviously he hasn't pitted yet either. Viken and Barth both into the pits now. I was just saying there, if there's something spooky, you're seeing someone with connection issues in the mirrors here. Oh god, it's definitely horrible. It's 1 minute they're in front of you, the next minute they're behind you. A bit of paranormal activity, if you'd like to say. But it looks like Van Putten and Versteeg quite close on track here. Van Putten losing that position to Versteeg. And now that is Sterner behind them as well. 1.3 seconds back, you can just see them there in the background. Van Putten all deep into turn 2. That's going to lose him quite a bit of time there. But Sterner not able to close the gap just yet. That's Viken behind, who I believe has pitted. Yes, he has. And he is in a battle with Corsa, who's in the Bentley. But Viken's going to have to get past these three back markers. And Barrett and Barth. So Barth coming out just behind Barrett. These two are battling the track before the pit stops. But Barrett holds on here to P16. And look at that, the top between P4 and P9 are all in the pits. Curtin and P10 now, so Curtin in the pits as well. But that's going to promote Tamas into the original race lead, Osh into second, and Mullard into third. That'll be everyone then, apart from the top three who have served their pit stops. But back down to this battle. Van Putten trying to go for a switchback there on Versteeg, but it hasn't paid off, and they're going to have to let Viken through. Viken's going to take the inside into turn 1. And I think Versteeg's timed that perfectly, but almost contact between the two. Viken slightly wide there, Chris coming out of the pits. These two are going to be, I believe, battling on track. Yes, they are. And Viken, look how close that is. On pit exit between Pizek and Viken here. And look at the rear end of the Porsche sliding out. Pizek's not going to be on tyres that are optimal pressures here. Contact between the two, and I think Pizek just moved over there a bit too much. Viken had nowhere to go, and Viken's going to gain that position. But they're going to have to get through the back markers once more. That's Brownhill, who's now involved in the battle, and Sindor, no, a bit too far back. But 3-car battle here between. We've got 2 3-car battles going on, really. This is Brownhill, Pizek, and Viken, and then we've got, I believe, we've also got Van Putten, Krauts and Versteeg. Actually, no, not Krauts. Van Putten, Sterner and Versteeg. So 2 3-car battles going on. One set of cars are back markers. So Viken somehow eating the wall there. That was quite odd. Maybe aquaplaning ever so slightly. He's going to have to get past now, and he does there, but a bit of contact between the two. I think Van Putten on the grass slightly. Let's go back to Osh, original race leader here. Mullard 4.2 seconds behind. Are they going to pit this lap? No, Osh isn't. Will Mullard? No, they're going to keep it out on track. But they're definitely cutting it close here. Now Alessandro Still with the fastest lap of the race, 1:37.3. Sorry, no, 1:35.9. The second stint, he's had the fastest lap of 1:37.3. But doesn't really have anyone apart from Corsa to worry about. Go back down to Van Putten, who's got Pizzic behind him. Pizzic's going to have to get past here. And oh, what's that? That's one of the Audis in front. Is that Harry Clayton? Might be. I believe it is, yes. And oh, that's Krautz in the middle of the track there. What's happened to Krautz? That's unusual to see a car in the middle of the track there. So we'll see if we can get a quick replay up of what happened in a moment. But back to this battle, Clayton obviously moving out the way of the back of the lead cars. Brownhill still looking to fight for position with Pizzic. The gap has opened up to 1.8 seconds now. And looking at the gap between Wittvoet and Planke here, what's happened to Wittvoet? He's made a mistake, I think. Because where's Tamas? Tamas exits the pits in the lead of the race. I wonder if he's changed tyres or not. He's about 5.5 seconds in front of Wittvoet, so he may not have. But down to P2 goes Wittvoet. Hladky may not have changed tyres either, so he's in P3. Ivanov in P4. The battle for, well, the top 4 is still on. Tamas has got a good sizable lead here with 21 minutes left to go, but if he hasn't changed tyres, he's going to be losing quite a bit of time every lap. But keep an eye on the delta between Tamas and Wittvoet. Good to see Tentifest Teklita there in the comments. Zikrai saying that move was 100% on Pizzic. Yeah, just moved over too much into the chicane. Race in motion there, showing support for Tamas, who is in the race lead as we speak. Back down to the battle for P8 between Pizzic and Beacon. These two have had a bit of a tangle earlier on, and Pizzic bouncing over those curves in the chicanes. Seems to be struggling in this second stint. But I think we'll go on board here with Beacon. Barely even seeing Pizzic's car. That's how bad the spraying is here at Zolder. I'm sure if this was an F1 race, it'd be red flag by now. Knowing them, but TT Racing never red flag. Oh, that may have been how Beacon hit the wall last time. Just seems to be some standing water on the exit of the final corner that Beacon is struggling with. The conditions get worse and worse every lap. And we cannot lose too much time to Pizzic. He's got a bit of breathing room now. He can concentrate on trying to extend this gap. And a Curtin in the pits once more, so he may have lost the car somewhere. And he's in for damage repairs. I believe Pizzock very sideways on entry into the chicane. He's had to take to the gravel to avoid losing the car. Not really any time lost for Pizzock. Gap still shows 1.6. I think it's much less than that now. Although an exit there. Pizzock has extended that back to 1.6, up to 1.8 now. Pizzock in the pits. What's happened there? Is that a drive-through penalty for Pizzock? No, it's not. I wonder why he's pitting. Doesn't seem like anyone apart from Brownhill or Brownhill Curtin have both got drive-through penalties. Apart from that, I'm not sure what's happened to Pizzock. Radke and Ivanov now bumper to bumper. Tamas holding on to P1, still 5.7 seconds the gap, so it looks like Tamas may have changed tyres here. And Vidford, I think, has had a bit of a mare in the pit stops. Kenny saying Audi good and wet, it seems. Well, it's a handful in the wet. But if you can get it down, it's a decent car. Definitely quite tricky in the wet though, the Audi. Donata saying damage. I don't think it would have been too much damage for Pizzock, because he was able to hold on to that position. Maybe it could have been fuel, maybe a strategy. No, it was a drive-through penalty for Pizzock, so that's why he entered the pit lane. Barth there, I think somersault with Harry Clayton, who has playing past. He's a back marker there, so and always contact between the two, and Barth is not going to be happy with that at all. Clayton, obviously as a back marker, did let Jan through, but just didn't get the car stopped in time, and Jan's not going to be happy with that at all. Barth is, I think he was battling with Van Hoorn, who's now really caught up. Well, he was battling with Barrett, but Barrett is held on to that position at P14. Barth is now going to have to defend against Van Hoorn here, and he's definitely going to have some damage after that collision, so it could make the Porsche even more unstable here. Pizzock losing a position to Brownhill. Both these two have had drive-through penalties. And he's saying Ivanov podium / president. Ivanov is close. I think he's made a mistake. I think he's lost the car. He has, so Lee, I think he may have put the curse here on Ivanov, because as soon as you said that, well, as soon as I read it, it might even be me putting the curse on him. He's lost the car. So Ivanov, if you do watch this back, Lee is the one to blame for your spin. But yeah, he's lost heaps of time to Hladky. He's now nearly 8 seconds back. And it doesn't look like, well, that podium position slipping away here from Ivanov. Back to the battle for P13 with Pizzock and Brownhill. Still going strong. Now, we were talking about Corsa, who we saw in the middle of the track not too long ago. Bring up a replay of what happened with him. So here you go. Corsa. Whoops. Corsa there. Through the final corner. And, oh, got onto the grass and lost the car there. And hit the wall. That's how he ended up in the middle of the track. And Pizzock, all very sideways there. But managed to hold onto the car. Now Hladkey's got a drive-through penalty, so actually, Lee, you might be right with Ivanov gaining third place and taking that podium position, that final podium spot. Deedee saying Pizzock get that BMW. Yeah, Hladkey into the pits now. Ivanov's going to be happy with that. And Pizzock, yeah, did used to drive the BMW in previous seasons, and the rear really unstable from Pizzock. He's driving on ice here, and it looks like that is Versteeg letting them through. But what's happened here to Brownhill? Has he been held up by Versteeg? With Pizzock has just flown past. We're gonna see if we can get a quick replay on what happened there. Brownhill definitely seemed to have been held up. Pizzock holds on to, well, gains P12 as a result. Let's have a look at the replay of what happened now. So Brownhill there. Versteeg loses the car. Brownhill gets past. Versteeg obviously a back marker, leaves the space, and had to slam on the brakes there because the rear came out, and Pizzock comes flying past as a result. That was a very hairy situation there. Versteeg had to get onto the grass to avoid contact. That was how he lost the position then. It doesn't look like he can get close enough to get back past. We'll go to the battle between Hladkey and Corsa. Hladkey obviously had a drive-through penalty that's dropped him down to P7 after being P3. Lee saying the rear of Pizzock's Porsche is faster than the front and wants to overtake. Yeah, that's pretty much how oversteer works, Lee. The front end wants to overtake the rear end wants to overtake the front. Bit of an educational lesson there from Lee. I think Lee might have to start a tech talk. Just like they do in F1, but Hladkey looking down the inside into the chicane, and no, backed out of that move. Corsa holds on. His connection seems to be much better now. go aboard here as well. With Hladky, you can see her looking down the inside, backing out of that move. Although Corsa slightly wide, they had to take a bit of a weird line on exit, and Hladky's going to be side by side. He's going to be on the outside though, coming down towards the final corner, and he's got the move done, has Hladky. And job done there for him. He's going to try to gap Corsa now. Oops, but there we have it. Bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 1 for Hladky though. Corsa's not giving up. Just see that Audi, the rear end of the Audi twitching on every corner exit, and oh, it's almost caught him off guard there. Managed to save the car, luckily, but really struggling now is Hladky, and this battle is not over yet. Looks like Barrett has lost the car, Versteeg lost the car somewhere as well. Actually no, he hasn't lost the car. He's made a mistake, he's actually dropped back behind Van Hoorn now. So it looks like Van Hoorn on the brakes into the final chicane. He's got that move done. And it's 5.5 seconds back to Barth. So Barth holding on to P14. These two still very close. And oh, Barrett very late on the brakes. Tried to go on the inside there. I don't think he meant that, but contact between the two, and Van Hoorn's not going to be happy with that. He's somehow held that slide, and I think that damage of Barrett's not helping at all. He's definitely got some damage on the front of that Audi, and Versteeg wide in the grass once again. Yeah, that damage is not helping for Barrett at all. I think he's really struggling to get the car stopped in time, but really lucky for Van Hoorn to hold on to that. Well, it's not luck, it was skill, really, to hold on to that slide after the contact. Curtin again in the pits. He's had a bit of a mare of a race here. Is that a second drive-through for him? Let's have a quick look. Yes, it was a second drive-through penalty for Curtin. And, he's going to be beating himself up about that. I seem to have caught up to who is obviously a lap ahead, so they're not going to want to get past. Make sure, for those watching, like the stream if you haven't done so already. Currently we're down to 22, I think, 10 TFS. We started on about 28. But earlier on in the season we had 45, 46, so it has decreased as we get towards the end of the season. But obviously we were on racing on Saturdays this season before, now on Fridays, so a lot of the drivers not able to commit to Fridays properly. But Corsa and Hladky still neck and neck here. Go back on board with Corsa now. Back to the race leader. Tamas has got an 11-second lead to Vitru in P2. But Vitru's going to score some good points here. Just 4 minutes left in this race. Ivanov still in P3. Bonenberger catching up to Alessandro here. These two are pretty much within a second of each other now. You see that Corsa still battling with Hladky, Bentley versus Audi. And we've got Bonenberger and Alessandro still battling. Paul and Donata saying very nice save from Van Hoorn. Definitely was. And Bonenberger, although he has caught up to Alessandro, the rear of the Porsche not looking stable at all. He's having to fight the car every corner. Looks like in the Bentley of Corsa, his rearview mirror has probably fallen out there. No, I'm joking. We just don't have mirrors enabled. But let's just say he's hit a bump a bit too hard, and his rearview mirror has fallen out. So there's nothing to look behind him. As he jumps over those chicanes, that may have been the cause of losing his rearview mirror. But back to the battle between Bonenberger and Alessandro. Still, the gap's actually increased now between these two. So up to 2.1 seconds now. Pizik and Hisley, P11 and P12, very, very close though. Hisley's got possibly 1 or 2 more laps here to hold on, but Pizik has been lapping nearly 2 seconds quicker than Hisley. Brownhill's behind as well, so 3-car battle for P11. Havke still holding on to P6 against Corsa there. With Brownhill. Paul asking on PC with such a large field, what place do you score points? So let's quickly bring up the points in a second. Yeah, Brownhill's still got. Oh, what's happened to Pizik? Hold on a second. Where is Pizik gone? Something has happened to Pizik there that I didn't quite catch. Has he had a disconnection or something? I'm not quite sure what happened to Pizik there. That's a shame. This leaves Hisley and Brownhill to battle now. So yeah, let's bring up the points very quickly. Not sure if Pizik may have even retired the car after a spin, but the points scoring. So P1 gets 105 points, P2 99, P3 94, P4 90, and I'll actually put the scoring in the comments so you can have a look yourself as well. So yeah, P8 78, P9 75 and P10 72, that's the top 10 scoring. Brownhill's still trying to get past here, but let's go back to the race leader, Tamas, who is actually almost coming to lap these two, so they're going to have to do another lap. But Tamas up towards the final corner. He's put a blinder in the pit stops, and he's held on, extended the lead to Vitvoot, and crossing the line in P1 to gain some good points here. Vitvoot's going to exit the final corner and cross the line in P2, his highest finish of the season. And he's going to score some really good points here. Ivanov is going to finish in P3. Bear with me one moment. So yeah, those three finishing on the podium: Alessandro in P4, Bonenberger in P5, Fladke in P6 doing some donuts, Corsa in P7, Viken, crashing across the line there in P8, Osh is going to cross the line in P9, and losing the car there as well. There seems to be some heavy standing water. I think drivers trying to do some weaving to celebrate. Definitely standing waters. You definitely don't want to do that with standing water. Hisley's going to cross the line. Mulan in P10. Hisley's going to cross the line in P11, just holding off Brownie on P12. But we'll see if we can get an interview with some of these drivers then. So let us have a look if any of the top three are going to come in for an interview. Got Lee and Kenny saying awesome racing, everyone. Robin saying perfect tactics from Tamas. Yeah, he seemed to have really got the jump in the pit stops, and it definitely paid off. It doesn't look like we're going to have any of the top three in for an interview. So that rounds off then round 5 here for the PC Championship at the SimZone, and we'll see you on Sunday for the PS4 Championship, where we are at Alton Park, and it is dry, but yeah, from us it's good night, and we'll see you then.